DuckTales, Season 1, Episode 11, The Spear of Selene. So Storkules is a little more historically accurate than is usually portrayed in media. In his proclivities, it seems. He seems to have an increased interest in Donald.
That's his BFF.
Acquaintance.
A little extreme for a BFF.
I mean, look at Madrock. As if he doesn't have those man crushes that aren't actually romantic crushes. Just, I want to be your friend. Be my friend.
Well, given his actual, like, what the myths say of him, it's like, no, he was both ways all the way. He was both ways all the way.
Everybody in Greece was bi. I mean, and Rome.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Rome, but Greece, it was very, very common.
There was an episode of Doctor Who that actually touched upon that.
Yeah,
and not
I can't. Yeah, again, I don't know. I haven't done the historical work on it, so I can't say for certain whether that's accurate. That's all I'm saying.
True.
So I don't want to repeat if it actually turns out to be wrong. I don't know.
But I mean, those bathhouses, come on.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me given their interest in the Greeks, considering you have the Aeneid, which basically stems from, it's like a sequel to the Iliad and the Odyssey. It's like the third part, but it's from a different author, and he was it Virgil? I can't remember, but basically sets out the start of Rome, and it's like this is how Rome was started, sort of mythologically, and so that was out of that, and so but the founder was from Troy, so they did actually dislike the Greeks in some ways, but they also, the aristocracy in Rome spoke Greek. Their servants mostly spoke Latin, and the upper crust could speak both Greek and Latin. So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. Storkules, he rather likes Donald. Donald is less.
We're just acquaintances.
Ladies and gentlemen, a history lesson.
Yeah. But.
Although it does kind of make me wonder why he just automatically assumed that they were Donald's nephews.
Yeah.
If this was before, if this was before Stella had them, or later
for Della. Well, actually, well.
So either,
maybe they did. They did at least hear about about Della having kids, and so they know that they're not Donald's, or they know that if there's 3 of them, it's probably Della's.
But she was lost right after they were laying.
Yeah, but maybe maybe they heard anyway. It's like.
So if they'd have heard, they'd have heard of her absence.
Yeah, I guess that's the.
Or maybe he just saw Donald and just saw 2 kids and just put 2 and 2 together.
But that's what I'm saying. If you see somebody trust me, as an aunt, people automatically assume he's mine.
Yeah.
And I am way less doting and way less protective of him than Donald is on those triplets.
Maybe they knew she was pregnant, or was egnant, but didn't at that time, but didn't know, or knew she was in a romantic relationship that was leading towards pregnancy, and so it wouldn't have been as surprising for them to see Della's kids, but she died after they were born,
After they were
after they
laid.
were laid, rather. The mammalian sensibilities here. Um, After they were laid, she died or left after, whatever happens to her. Uh, so they knew she had laid the eggs, but hadn't heard anything since. Maybe one of her last trips was right before she laid her eggs or something. I don't know.
Or
It's
maybe Storkules is just really, really hoping Donald's gay.
Well, I mean, it might also been a time period sort of thing. Like Donald was he had nobody romantically at the time, and so Storkules, Donald was in the Navy for a while,
Yeah.
so but not to just not to lump everybody in the Navy in that one
In the
boat, but
Navy.
there is a
Stereotype.
it is a stereotype for a reason. Um, but yeah, I mean, not all, but yeah. Um, and yeah, that's not a disparagement. That's just sort of
An
but
observation.
observation. But yeah, he's in the Navy. He has no current romantic interest at the time. He knew about when those three had been laid. You know, he would have known that Donald didn't really have anybody at the time, so it would have been slightly weird. And he may have known that Della did have somebody, and it's like, okay, well, it's more likely that was Della's kids, um, or maybe there's a bit of family resemblance to Della more than resemblance to Donald, but they're both ducks. But then again, it could be detailed that we wouldn't notice because we're not ducks.
Flat.
Yes, like you
Or
ducks.
just, I really hope that that's your nephew.
Yeah, or wishful thinking, one or the other. Um,
I still have a chance. Yay.
yes, and apparently through his eyes, Donald is rather chiseled. But
Poor Donald. He only gets lucky when he doesn't want to.
yeah, no, the rest of the time, yeah.
Which one
There's
could argue that does constitute bad luck, being lucky when you don't want to be lucky.
well, lucky in the way you do not wish to be lucky.
Yeah.
I said
Of
I was
course.
lucky. I did not say what kind of luck.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he starved that luck vampire.
Yeah.
He has nothing. Why? Why do you have nothing?
He is the unluckiest duck in the world.
Oh. But yeah.
Although only Donald would be. Why does he like me? Well, not only Donald, but.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole. He wants to be best friends. I mean, if it were, coming on to him, I could see why he'd be like, no. But just friends.
But yeah, and apparently Scrooge one heck of a talented, sculptor and just basically everything.
Well,
Because
I mean, well, Zeus has been busy in his immortality getting some from every female in existence, just about.
yeah, dude, that is another part of Greek myth that, yeah,
Scrooge has been actually honing his abilities
yes.
in
Well,
other things than romantic endeavors.
yeah, when you have
No,
an infinite amount of time to do something, you're probably not going to rush to do it.
I think the condom was invented because of Zeus.
Quite possibly.
Hera's like, you are this. I'd have Hephaestus make it this. If you're gonna do that.
I am tired of all those child support payments. They're bankrupting Mount Olympus.
But, we have enough demigods as it is. Stop it. We're gonna have somebody over Bellylint, which wouldn't surprise me if the Greeks had somebody over Bellylint. Given how many, minor deities there are, Bellylint
They
probably
had
falls under somebody.
I don't know whether I think it was actually Egyptian, but there is a god of milk. Specifically milk.
Well, that
Moo.
sounds like a great idea there, eh? It's sort of
Oh, dairy.
a Wisconsin sort of going into Canada sort of thing going on there. um, but yeah, there's probably one over Bellylint, or you could stretch their title and role to cover Bellylint. Um, but yeah, he's and also apparently a sore loser. Zeus is.
Oh,
Though, it seems to me that, in the past, in mythology, you would have just,
smited him, but you can't really smite Scrooge because Scrooge is immortal too.
well, not really. But I know in the context of the TV show, he can't. But like, if this had been like a real interaction between mythological Zeus and an uppity duck,
Having duck souffle.
yes. Unless he was extremely amused by him, he probably would have just meh.
Well, it
Athena
was
turned somebody
good.
into a spider, so
Yeah. And I mean, Aphrodite turned the most beautiful human, into a snake-haired. You die if you turn to stone if you look at her. So
Yeah, she's kind of an ass.
yeah. Well, Aphrodite, she sets off the whole Trojan War.
yeah,
The whole point of the whole reason the whole Trojan War happens is because the Eris, the goddess of chaos, was like, gave this guy a golden apple and was like, if you choose, yeah, it was Paris, I think. It was somebody in charge of Troy, and like, and give it to the most beautiful of the goddesses. You have Aphrodite, you have Athena, and Hera, and it's like each would give offered him a bribe, sort of, and Helen and not Aphrodite's was, I will give you the most beautiful woman in the world as a bride, and so he's like, here, gave it to her, and she's like, oh, hi Helen, yeah, you're already married, but yoink, here, you're going to be taken to Troy, and you're going to marry Paris as a, it's like, And so that kicks off the whole Trojan War. If I remember my mythology correctly, I could be off a bit on names or, the exact ordering of events, but that's the general gist of things. Um, but yeah,
Paris was the one who took who ended up marrying Helen, and so yes,
yes,
and it was Aphrodite who
yeah,
instigated shit. So
yeah.
yeah, the
Thank you.
basics are
Overly
correct.
sarcastic was it productions or something like that. It's a YouTube channel that does a lot of mythology, and I've been watching that. It's really fun. So like I, I have that nicely sort of streamlined in a way of explaining it. But anyway, getting off Greek mythology for a second and ancient texts. Um, back to ducks.
What?
You know, it was all Dewey and Webby's fault too. This entire episode, because I rewatched it again this morning, actually paying attention to actually looking at it, because normally I don't watch things visually, I watch them auditorily. And Dewey flipped switches in order to set off the alarm,
Yeah.
and at Webby's instigation. Webby's the one who's all like, Webby started this whole thing just to help Dewey find out about his mom.
Yeah, and also at the end, the sphere of Selene. Uh, I don't know. Was that bocce ball?
I don't even know.
The game that last one was.
Yeah, I don't know any of. I mean, I don't know games very well, anyways. So
I don't
it's all
know.
good
The
to
only
me.
thing I know with balls that's from that sort of area that does that. Those sorts of.
I'm sure Hercules knows all about those.
But the way that's done, it looks the closest sport I know is bocce. I think it's bocce ball. But
You could tell the basics of the game based on what their reactions were. So it's like you don't have to know what it's called to understand the. Oh, you have to get that into the hole. Cool. I mean, into the circle. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be something. Yeah, yeah, that's the closest I know, but I don't know European sports very well. Um, but at any rate, yeah, and then royally ticks off Zeus. It's like,
Everything ticks off Zeus.
yeah, well, unless he wins, and then he's happy for a
He's
little
a
bit.
sore winner too.
Yeah, he's not exactly. He's not a very good sportsman, but he doesn't have very good sportsmanship. Gracious and winning, and
Why aren't you playing these games? Oh, it would look bad if I lowered myself to his level. So you lower yourself for me. And win. Beat their butts.
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's yeah. But then again, he is a deity, so I mean, ego is kind of earned, or not earned, but kind of deserved in that way. It's like, yes, I could kill you all if I was annoyed enough. I could just flat out kill you all right now. So, yeah.
Also, those tiny little manticores, which technically weren't manticores because they didn't have a human aspect, but considering they don't have humans in that world, the lack of anthropomorphization would constitute a subtle deviation of the manticore concept.
Yes. And
And the whole flipping the head, giving it a scorpion body instead of a lion body in a lion head instead of a human head. But
Yeah, those
it's the
manticores, if you
closest
see the
to,
actual drawings, they're really freaking creepy.
yeah.
Human face should not be on that.
No. You know what's even creepier though? A Mercolian.
I haven't seen a Mercolian off the top of my head, but
I
yeah,
think I'm saying that correctly. Yeah.
but
Mercolion.
oh,
I haven't seen one of those in a very long time, but uh, it was in one of my mythology books as a kid. It's got the body of a giant ant, the face of a human, and a lion's mane and tail, or something like that. It's really
Cute.
creepy.
Donald was awesome at this. He did all those challenges just great, like that race. He's like, nope.
Yeah, he won that race just by not racing. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna crap, I won.
yeah, probably because he
He was,
didn't want at the end for number one, he didn't want to piss off Zeus any more than what was already
yeah.
there. He didn't really
I
want to be
don't
dealing with
invent you anymore.
Storkules because he knows if he won, Storkules would be going up and grabbing him and hugging him. So he's like, I don't
Yeah.
really want to be crushed or be that close to Storkules, but you know.
Huey gets excited over weirder things than Webby, yet Webby's the one who's always getting the bad rep for being weird on that.
Yeah, I get excited over
Al-
different weird things.
Although you definitely are Huey. You just Huey'd at the beginning of this with your mythology.
Yeah, I suppose I did go. I did go a bit full Huey there.
You just proved your Huey-ness, and I totally am Webby. He's like, Dewey's there trying to defend his mom, like, I stole the spear of Selene to get it cleaned. I took the spear of Selene because I didn't realize you had one. Happy birthday. Or I stole the spear of Selene from your vault. Sorry about disrespecting your entire family, blah, blah, blah.
I was gonna say, I had it for a second. Lost it. Shoot. Oh yeah, and we also find out Selene just likes making prophecies just to try and get Della creepy prophecies in order to draw out Della. Just to
Yeah. But I mean, that's fun. I used to do that as a kid.
you wrote prophecies to try and get your friends to show up because it was dangerous.
No,
Yeah,
to get
kind
free
of.
money from her parents.
What?
No, to get free money, saying, if I do not get money by the day's end, a terrible curse will befall you.
No, I more came up with curses and prophecies to scare people mostly. So yeah,
Yeah, it's
that some of them actually happened is not my fault.
yeah, curses and that sort of thing. You know, it's all just it's all a bit of mind games and coincidence.
Sugar pills.
Yeah, it's all mind games and coincidence. So, because if you say, you will fall down the stairs, that's in your head now, and now it's going.
Exactly.
If you believe it, it's going to start working its way through your head and making you without thinking about it, actively thinking about it, it's gonna make you you will fall down the stairs and you fall down the stairs. And it's like it was the
Psychosomatic
curse.
response.
It was the curse.
Exactly. Psychosomatic response.
But
Also, we prove Webby is way more badass than Dewey because even in the first episode, the whole booby traps, awesome, death traps, awesome. In this one, death traps and crap just no, make it stop.
Yeah.
Like, we only have to do it again when we go back.
And I do love the helpful monster.
Yes, the sea monster.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh no, you want spear, Selene,
Spear of
Selene, you want that
Oh,
down that way.
Garden of Selene. That's 3 doors down to the turn a left.
Yeah, it's like you will not have the spear of Poseidon. It's like
Shut
I'm not
up.
after the spear of Poseidon. Oh, what are you looking for? This? Oh yeah, it's down the hall. I have one thing to protect. That's my job. I'm not in charge of what's going on with Selene. The why Poseidon stores his spear on an island. It's not like he's lacking storage space, considering, god of the ocean.
Davy Jones' locker was full.
Oh, come on, he couldn't find a place in the Marianas Trench.
Hey, she was busy, right?
Oh.
You don't want to know what was in Mariana's Trench.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh.
But
I'm sorry I'm sorry for calling you a hideous sea monster. I'm sure you're really attracted by sea monster standards.
no, not really.
But thanks. And I do not blame Louis for not liking his name.
Oh yeah, Llewellyn. It's like, oh wow.
Please don't
Do not tell people my real name.
don't use my full name.
Oh,
Yeah, don't blame him.
I seem to remember hearing it was Huford, Duford, and Luford, but
No, that was the original.
yeah,
They
the
changed
original.
it in the reboot.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
now
it's going after.
Duford, Hubert, and Llewellyn.
Yeah, which makes you really understand why they go by Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Llewellyn especially.
Yeah.
What did you say his Dewey's name was?
Duford.
Duford. It's still Duford.
Yeah.
Okay, that
and
one
it's
I
Hubert.
understand as well. Hubert's not too bad.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
they
probably when he gets older, when he becomes an adult, he'll start at least professionally going by Hubert, simply because it sounds more formal, And,
Yeah.
But like to his friends, he'll still be Huey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my brother's name is Robert. I still call him Bobby. I've been calling him Bobby since we were kids. So.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I don't blame them for using pseudonyms.
Yeah, the nicknames definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes it rhyme it makes it all sort of rhyme together anyway.
Exactly.
So.
The name slant is good too.
Yeah. So Huey, Duford, wow, that was an eye opener. Yeah,
I blame Donald for this because I'm fairly certain he's the one who named them.
Well, yeah, if Della didn't name them, if she laid her eggs and then went and did her thing, and Donald was left with them left with the eggs, and hatched them, and she left but didn't come back, then yeah, that would have been on Donald.
Yeah, that's totally Donald.
Unless she gave him a list of names and said, "Here's the names.
Boys, these are the. If it's boys, I want these. If it's girls, I want these."
Yeah.
But I mean,
it may have been Hubert, Duford, and then Llewellyn was the third one, and then she had a list of 3 girls' names, and was like, okay, if Llewellyn was just sort of a name she threw in there to fill out the list, because she's like, it's not going to be 3, 2 maybe, but 3 probably not. I mean, that's
yeah, I mean,
1/5,
there'd
1/8.
have to be one girl in there. Come on.
Yeah, you think, with 3 eggs. It's
Especially
a 1 in 8
since,
chance that we're gonna have. I'll prepare for 3, but it's only a 1 in
especially,
8 chance.
especially since she and Donald are twins. So the and if you look at the background of them that I only know because of intensive searching through internet sources and the Disney official shit. Um, her their father was Daisy's twin brother.
Hmm.
So again, a boy girl twin.
Well, how do twins work with eh,
Fraternal. That well,
with
chickens and most birds lay a
multiple?
set of eggs,
Yes.
multiple eggs at once.
So all
So
of them are usually, most families would be like one clutch.
yeah, but because they're anthropomorphized, instead of calling them a clutch, they're called twins,
Twins or
triplets,
triplets,
etc.
or
And I
whatever the.
guess in this verse, the fact that they generally are born 2 or 3 at a time, so having twins, triplets, etc., probably not that uncommon.
Yeah, it would be more weird to have an only
A
child,
single,
or yeah,
yeah,
something bad happened probably if you have a single a single child to a clutch.
yeah.
Um, but anyway.
Another line that is so me, so Webby. It's so adorable. I just want to
It's so
slay
cute. I want to kill it.
it. Yes.
And
Tell
remember,
me I'm not right.
There is a certain amount of um cute aggression. Like
Yeah,
they use there was a study done where they showed these participants cute animals and gave them bubble wrap to see how much they would, like,
there
they
is
don't
a
want to
psych.
hurt the thing, but they're just frustrated that they
There,
can't touch
that's
them.
also why people pinch children's cheeks and stuff. The reason why is cuteness triggers a protective instinct, which causes adults and it causes them to want to protect the cute little thing, which is a natural defense in, offspring to parent in order to make them more viable to survive.
Yeah. But
It it dates back to our tribal instinct.
well, yeah, even further than they just,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
a
primal.
natural,
Uh,
exactly.
but uh,
Primal,
cute
that's the
is
word.
primal. Um, what else? I Is there anything
Plug your
else?
ears. No good ever came from a creepy child singing.
yeah,
Oh,
but if you want to stop the
My
siren
nephew could.
music, deal with it.
Yeah, just the other day, my nephew was playing with Siri on my phone, and he was singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider. And because he first of all doesn't understand how to speak properly because he's only 4, and his words get mixed up a little bit. He got so confused in what he actually had written as what my nephew said was very much not what he actually said. And it's like, I don't think that's right. So yeah, no good ever came from a creepy child singing.
yes.
Nothing
And
came from any
considering
child
he's
singing.
what about a what?
I think he said that nothing's ever come good. Nothing ever good has come from a young child singing. It's like,
True.
well, I mean, eventually, a good adult singer. I mean, that kind of came
Yeah.
out of it because practice. But
Unless you
yes,
get told off for singing because you're off key or something, and then that makes you not want to sing ever again.
yeah. But Anyway, getting
I'll
back to
see
the.
you, tiny Chimera.
Anyway, any other things we can think of to go through this?
Oh, I took your example and started, as I watch it, I take notes.
I actually stopped. I don't do that except for with Pony. I don't actually
I
take
know.
notes.
I don't do that with ponies, really. I just do it with DuckTales, Orville, and Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's really helpful. Since well, at least one of us is taking notes,
Yeah.
it's great. As long as one of us is taking notes, you'll remind me of something, and then I'll branch off, and we'll go off on a
Yeah.
10-minute digression about Greek mythology.
And they added Donald Duck's angry rant. That has to be turned into a dance move if it hasn't already.
Uh,
That jumpy thing that he does before he goes off and turns into a Tasmanian devil on them. Also, Louis saves the day with the sheep roll with his manipulation.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great singing voice you have. Zeus just wants to use you. I want to use you to make us both money. What do you say? It's a deal. Okay.
It's a it's manipulative, but
Yeah.
considering the alternatives to try and rip it from her hands, trying to coerce her to do that, I mean, yeah. No, not coerce necessarily, but try and convince her to do it. But
And the end of the episode proves that Launchpad has a screw loose.
a lot of them, if you're talking
He
about the
took
plane.
apart the entire thing. This was the problem. A screw. Which, actually, there was no problem. It was just Dewey and Webby, which is why he couldn't find a problem. And now they're kind of screwed in general because they're
Oh,
stuck on
come
the
on.
island.
He's got a satellite phone in there somewhere. He'll call and just have somebody pick them up.
Yeah.
But just scoop up the plane. Launchpad could put it back together at some point.
Well, I mean, they kind of have to. That's the plane he always uses.
I could have more
That's
than
the
one of
plane
the
he
same
always
kind of plane.
crashes.
Could be mass produced.
That plane is like the Charger in Burn Notice. It's been crashed, blown up, and destroyed countless times. Always comes back. Rebuilt and working perfectly. I bet you by this point, Launchpad must be really great at IKEA stuff, though. Plus, I mean, his natural fluency in Swedish, apparently, from the first episode.
What was that the Terra Firmians?
No, it was the first episode because she called up to tell her.
Oh
granny
yeah. No,
He
yeah.
was lying about her granny. Uncle Jan, I don't remember his name, is here. He only speaks Swedish, so it would be rude to keep talking on the phone. Gotta go, bye. How are you gonna back that one up? Yeah. And he starts talking Swedish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all the notes I have for that one.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I got nothing else.